Welcome to the Ultimaker Showcase event. This is a really exciting event for us. It's a new platform that's going to be biannual, and we're actually going to be bringing closer to you all the innovations, the updates, the continuous improvement that we're doing at Ultimaker. So from my side, I'm really excited about it. It's part of our strategy to show how innovation is going to be one of our core strategic pillars of the company going forward. So, what I'd like to focus on today is really about the strategy and why we're doing what we're doing as a company. And one of those things really is about the platform and our ecosystem. They're an integral part of our strategy and our competitive differentiation. So if you look at it, why is the strategy so important? Well, one of the things that's driving all of this is this kind of volatility that's out there, this uncertainty, the ambiguity, and complexity. And this is not going away. The world is not getting simpler, it's getting more and more complicated. And companies have to be reactive, and they have to be able to adapt with all these things. So from our side, one of the things you have to kind of look at is focus on two major pillars for us. One of them is flexibility. And with flexibility, I'm talking about, being dynamic versus static. This is critical. To be able to adapt quickly. The other thing is this, ability to look forward and be responsive to change. Change is the new constant. Next to, flexibility, the other thing that we kind of define as sustainable value is really about empowering people. One of the biggest constraints we're going to have in the world is access to resources. And people and empowering people is going to be a vital part of any organization's competitive advantage going forward. The other part you have to look at, because of all this volatility, is the return of investment. It's going to be shorter and shorter. You cannot rely on getting a return in 4 or 5 years. It's got to be much, much faster. And you've got to look at risk management, but really almost aggressive risk management, proactively, understanding what's happening. And the pandemic just highlighted that as a great example. And I think the last part of sustainable value for us is defined really by this culture of continuous improvement. If you're not improving, not becoming more effective, not learning, then you will no longer be competitive in the future. So this sustainable value is really about people, it's about the way you run the company, it's about the management system you have. Those are important aspects. So flexibility and sustainable value are from our perspective, really important. And I think I see technologies as a whole as enablers of flexibility or sustainable value. So they can either support it or they can detract and make it not happen. 3D printing is one of those technologies. It's an enabler for flexibility, sustainable value. And I think that is, from our perspective, the most important part, because what it allows you to do is it allows you to kind of take away geographies. You can compete anywhere, whether you're in China, in the United States, in Germany. It actually makes a level playing field. The other part is it's accessible for all. Trying to bring out complexities, driving down the barrier of entry into this technology. And that's what 3D printing does, right? It is really about taking out complexities and allowing and empowering people to participate, to utilize the technology and the tool. The other aspect is it's an enabler for mass customization. We know that end users, customers, want to have a specific product that's measured or being specific for their industry, for their production process. So mass customization is a prerequisite to really address your customers' needs. And the last part is that this whole idea of Industry 4.0 and digitization, this technology, 3D printing, is an enabler for that. It forces us to go down the path of digitization and delivering this, the next generation of management for your company. And I think if you look at all that, you would probably sit back and say, well, that's fantastic, but why has the adoption of 3D printing still not really taken off? Where's that inflection point? Where's the fast growth? And it's a valid question. And I think what we have come up with is looking at it from 4 aspects. We look at it and we say, it's really been fragmented. If you look at the 3D printing industry, if you're new to it, it is very difficult to understand which technology should I be utilizing as a company for my requirements. And so, whether it's SLS, FDM, it doesn't make a difference. It's quite complex. So it's very much a technology push that's very difficult for customers to understand, the user. The next part is closed ecosystems. If you know that there's going to be a lot of volatility and you have to be flexible as a company, you've got to think about, can I be flexible enough to change what I just bought, the CapEx investment I made? And closed ecosystems is a barrier. If people feel, or customers feel, that they're going to be stuck in the future and have not got the options, that's going to make it difficult. Complexity, it's very much a non-integrated workflow right now in the industry. It's been that way for many, many years. So there's a high level of complexity that people have to overcome. And the last point is really the combination of everything, and that is a lack of applications focus, the solution. If we would put ourselves into the shoes of our customers and understand that, in fact, most customers are not looking for a 3D printer, they're actually looking for a solution to a problem they have. And 3D printing is one option. And I think by doing it that way, you kind of understand their process, their requirements, their problems. And I think once 3D printing moves away from a technology push to an application solution focus, we will see the inflection. We will see that growth coming back. And I think one of the things we know is that if we look at all those problems and issues, that's why we believe, actually, that Ultimaker is perfectly positioned to deal with all those complexities. And I think, we look at it and say, we kind of believe we have all the ingredients to kind of crack the code. And that's really what we are showing here today, is that kind of process. Because to do what we want to do, to be specific for mass customization, to be specific for customers, you need a platform. You have to have an open platform, an open ecosystem that allows us to provide customers with the flexibility, whether it's on hardware, add-ons, or even on the software side, the material side, but even on the application side, the competence side. Together, a company like Ultimaker, who embodies that open integrated platform, has the capability to be specific for those customers, to offer that solution, to take away those barriers. And so if you look at the platform and the ecosystem play, that's the part we're going to be investing in. It's ensuring that customers have a future-proof system, that they have the comfort that the product they've bought today, in 6 months' time, in a year, in 3 years, will still be the most current technology out there, continually improving. This integrated, platform for us is a key competitive advantage. It has so much opportunity. And if you look at, what we're talking about there, we have over 60 material partners today. We have over 300, partners in our sales community, and it's growing every day. It's important that we kind of understand the value of that, because when it comes to our applications competence, we're not just talking about our capabilities as a company, where we have a lot of application engineers, and we're investing in that more and more to open up newer applications, but also that ecosystem is developing solutions every day, and we have to take advantage of that. Now, one of the other aspects is, from my perspective that I've talked about, is this first time right. How do we improve first time right? And the way to do that, really at the end of the day, is looking at the data that's out there. Being one of the largest 3D printing professional manufacturers with that customer base, we have unique insights. And we can see that. It's growing because we see what's happening in Cura. The number of slices is going up, and the number of users. And I think from that perspective, we have a unique opportunity to improve for our customers that first time right. Getting a successful print faster is going to be a vital competitive advantage. And also the first time right with the ecosystem is our opportunity to continuously improve. It's not just Ultimaker. No, it's the complete ecosystem of Ultimaker improving year over year, month over month. And that's the opportunity for our customers to be future-proof, to be able to know that they have bought into flexibility for their future. So I think when we look at all these opportunities we have, right, and our vision of really accelerating this transition, right, to a sustainable future and enabling that flexibility, the sustainable value for our customers, we have everything, all those ingredients are there. And we have a responsibility and accountability to ensure that the 3D printing technology is enabled and empowering those customers out there. And I do believe we're right at the beginning. So if we look at the ingredients, the hardware platform we have and the add-ons, the peripherals we have, is one of the widest out there. It's one of the most flexible. If you look at the software competence we have, it's equally strong. Most companies are either strong on hardware or in software. We actually have both. Materials, one of the broadest, flexible portfolios in the world is with Ultimaker. And we're continuing to expand that. We're actually strengthening those relationships with those material companies out there today. And on the other part, for me, because we're still in that inflection, looking for the inflection, we're just starting to understand the potential in the industry. And one of those things is awareness. We have an obligation to make sure people understand how to use the technology. And we will look at driving our academy, our training capabilities further and further out to our customers and new customers out there. So, when we look at all this potential, the importance is really on understanding the details. And that's why I'm so excited today, because we're going to be looking at what we're bringing to market this year, but giving you insight into some more deep dives on what's going on. Whether it's on, Miguel will be talking about the printers and peripherals, looking at the platform, the hardware, the add-ons. And yes, we have some pretty exciting news at the back end of today, so I'm very excited about that. We'll be talking about the software. Alder and Rutger will be up. And I think from my perspective, they'll be focusing on the capabilities of what this platform can offer, the ecosystem can offer to customers, specifically in that distributed manufacturing area. And I think that's going to be very interesting to show you just some of that capability, what this can empower in companies. And Bart will be coming on talking about the materials and talking about certification and how that is part of our ecosystem strategy and how we'll be investing in that. So I'm really looking forward to those presentations. I can tell you it's going to be exciting and worth going through the full hour to understand exactly what's going to be happening in the company. But before I hand off, I really want to just give you some insight into an opportunity, a unique opportunity. This is our 10th year. It's really, for us, kind of a culmination of all the things we've done over the last 10 years. And they've been successful years, right? We've worked very hard to get to the #1 position in professional 3D printing. And I think what we want to do is share some of that success and offer a unique opportunity in an Ultimaker pack, a value pack to our customers and new customers. And the opportunity here is, of course, to get on board, participate in this ecosystem of ours that we're going to continually improve. And today, and for the fourth quarter, we're offering this value. It's 20% at least value to our customers. It's a unique opportunity. It's exciting because I think it really gives you insight into what's happening. So please click the link, take the opportunity to participate in this. It is a limited offer this year only. So thank you very much. And I'm going to hand off to Rutger now.
Imagine we live in a world where you can print a part exactly as you want it, when you want it, and where you want it. For an engineer, this would enable a lot of flexibility to print a part anywhere in the world without the constraints of shipping the part all over the globe. Also from a business perspective, this comes with huge benefits. Distributed manufacturing supports the key benefits of 3D printing technology in general. Companies that implement distributed manufacturing are able to compete anywhere to anyone, as they can create custom-made parts much closer to our customers. This lowers your inventory costs, but also your transportation costs, and also supports a much faster time to market. Another benefit coming from distributed manufacturing is that it is accessible to all. Remote teams can innovate much more than ever, as it is so close to them. From a mass customization point of view, reproduction of custom-made parts is easier than ever and can happen in the most cost-effective way. This reduces the general costs, but also your waste reduction. On the digitalization point of view, companies are now able to upload their custom-made parts in the cloud rather than store them in a physical warehouse. Welcome to our software keynote about Ultimaker's path to global distributed manufacturing. My name is Rutger Strongs. I'm the Global Director of Product Marketing at Ultimaker. Together with my colleague, Elder Linsen, who's the Product Marketing Manager Software at Ultimaker, and who will join me in a few minutes, we talk about how companies can unlock distributed manufacturing. Before we dive into the software, let's zoom into the strategic importance of software within the Ultimaker platform. Distributed manufacturing is never a software play on its own. It highly depends on reliable hardware and available materials and services too. The Ultimaker platform and also our software, we are aiming for a very successful and seamless experience to support distributed manufacturing. Next, we at Ultimaker continuously work to make distributed manufacturing a seamless experience. And we are continuously building on new features to make the platform better and better. Our platform is also open, so other partners, software partners, can also drive added value for the customers that use the Ultimaker platform. We already have quite a substantial amount of partners available listed in this slide. And we keep on bringing new partners on board. As our platform is open, we also allow partners to create plugins and integrations to make the customer experience of the platform even better. I hope you all now have a better understanding about the strategic importance to focus on distributed manufacturing and the benefits you can gain from that. Now let's dive more into the details. So I would like to hand over to my colleague, Elder Linsen, to talk more about that.
So that ideal world that Rutger mentioned about distributed manufacturing, it's really all about workflow empowerment. And that is actually also the key focus at Ultimaker when we are developing our software. Because we look at the beginning all the way to the end, and every step in the middle, we look and see how can we add as much value as possible for customers so they can unlock distributed manufacturing. And that's something that we've been doing since the beginning. Because when we developed Ultimaker Cura, we challenged ourselves to make it as easy as possible for users to get the highest quality print. Within Ultimaker Digital Factory, we enable users an accessible way to remotely manage all their printers. And the 3D Printing Academy that we recently released contains a lot of expert e-learning courses that help you lower the knowledge barrier within your organization. And like Rutger and Jürgen just mentioned, this is a continuously evolving platform. Since April, where we announced our platform strategy and our enterprise software, we released 2 new Ultimaker Cura versions. Every 2 weeks, we deployed new functionality in Ultimaker Digital Factory, and we've onboarded new partners into our ecosystem. And this all resulted in that now engineers can develop better parts more easily and consistently. And true to our focus on the workflow, we bring it one step closer towards that ideal world of distributed manufacturing. So when you're an engineer and you're designing your part, we've added improvements in digital library and added an integration with Fusion 360 to streamline your flow from CAD to print. When you're slicing, within Ultimaker Cura, we've added a lot of improvements, but most notably, now you can open native CAD files directly in Cura, which improves your first time right. Now, when you are managing your printers, we've added an unlimited print job history to make it management more easy and more effective. We ensure that you can keep your productivity through the maintenance schedule that's now in the cloud. And of course, we've added a lot of new e-learning courses that really help you maximize the success of using the Ultimaker platform. So now let's take a look at how these new values look like. So let's start with a demo of the new features. We begin in Ultimaker Cura that you can immediately see has been refreshed with over 100 new icons designed specifically for clarity. I will print a new version of an application created by a colleague, so we'll begin with a CAD file. I'll load it from digital library, where I can easily find it using the search functionality that's just been released. And note that I'm opening a CAD file. The ability to open CAD file is one of our key improvements and really enables you to improve first time right by reducing conversion errors and a general, more streamlined CAD to print flow. So this part that we are creating needs to be in visual prototype, so we'll prepare it for aesthetics. I'll select the visual profile from the menu, and I will enable the monotonic top-bottom order setting to make sure it's printed with high-quality top surfaces. So after slicing, we can send the print job to Ultimaker Digital Factory. And in Ultimaker Digital Factory, you can immediately see that it's been picked up and it will be ready in a few hours. But you can also see that one other printer is still available. So let's make sure that this one is running as well. For this, we'll use the new print job history functionality. This print job history contains all the print jobs that have been printed and is really an unlimited print job history of your organization. And when you're happy with the result and want to reprint a part, you can use this functionality like I'm showing right here. Now, to ensure consistent productivity, it's good to keep your printers in optimal running conditions. For that reason, we released printer maintenance in Ultimaker Digital Factory. This feature contains a detailed list of maintenance actions with links to support articles with instructions that you can read to really keep your printer in good conditions. It also notifies you when tasks are due, and you can also add instructions to your colleagues or other notes to keep them informed about the maintenance actions that you've just performed. Now, while we are waiting for our prints to finish, it's good to follow some e-learning training. That's why we go to the Ultimaker 3D Printing Academy. On the Ultimaker 3D Printing Academy, we released hours of new courses like FFF for Beginners. Each course contains hands-on assignments, videos, and even a self-test at the end so you can check how much you've learned. So be sure to check in here regularly and really learn how to take the most out of the Ultimaker platform. Now on to Krones. Krones is a leading food and beverage company in Germany that leveraged the Ultimaker platform to create an exciting custom solution for their customers. And it really equips them to print what they want, where they want it, and when they want it.
We are a machining building company in the packaging and filling industry. If you check at the moment the globally procurement part with microchips and all this kind of stuff, there are a lot of companies that really trouble about that, and it's not only in the microchip area, it's also the normally spare part, and 3D solution is a solution for that, not for the microchip, but for other solution. And then we create the RPOD, it's Rapid Part on Demand.
Every customer all over the world is able to print a part really on demand if it's necessary. So for example, if there's machinery breakdown, that he has not to wait a couple of weeks or days for one part he needs, so that he has the chance to go to the printer or to go to the ground shop and to print the part on demand. And yeah, how does it work? So there is an, I would say, a connection between, of course, our Grounds eShop system and also the printer on the customer side. So you can imagine it works like a tunnel. So there's only one line between our Ground shop system and also between the printer. And it's a really restricted system, so that no other systems or no other data are affected by providing the service to our customer. So it's really the availability of parts and also the flexibility. So you can also imagine that there's a high variety between different parts, and we also want to give the customer the chance that he has not to wait for achieving one solution. So with the printer on his side, he has the possibility to get this solution in a couple of days from Grounds, and this is very important for us. We search for a partner which is very open-minded, very innovative, and where we also had the feeling that we can build up a very trustful partnership, and then the choice was for Ultimaker.
Ultimaker is very open for changes, for requirements, and for new solutions and new steps, for developing new ideas and crazy ideas, because it's a crazy business. It's a growing business. Nobody knows what's going on in 2 years in the 3D.
So as you can see, Cronus created a solution that enables them to print on demand locally. But that path towards distributed manufacturing will only get better, because we have a few exciting things coming up. Because like we announced in April, our materials and software engineers are working very hard on the Arachne engine that will release in Ultimaker Cura 5. This new engine will fundamentally improve your slicing experience and really improve your print quality and print strength. And stay tuned, because we have a new beta coming out soon. Now, within Ultimaker Digital Factory, like we did in the past months, we will continuously keep on pushing new improvements to the platform. But this time, really focusing on you to get that first print out exactly as you want it. And we'll also add new management features. And we understand that the knowledge barrier is still existent. So in the next few months, we'll be focusing on detailed product and workflow training, focusing on the real everyday challenges to help you get more successful using the Ultimaker platform. So join the continuous evolution of Ultimaker software and register for Ultimaker Essentials. Because when you do, you immediately level up your Ultimaker 3D printing experience with full control and remote secure 3D printing. You gain increased flexibility with access to our partner ecosystem, and you can boost your success rate with the expert e-learning on the Ultimaker Academy. But if you're not with us yet, please take a look at the 10-year anniversary bundle that Jürgen just announced. So we hope you enjoyed the software part of the showcase event. Next will be materials and how they enrich the Ultimaker platform. Please enjoy the rest of the showcase.
Thank you, Rutger and Elda, for the fantastic story about Ultimaker software. I'm always so excited to hear how that is adding to the strength of our platform. But now for something different. Let's talk about materials. So my name is Bart van As. I'm the product manager materials at Ultimaker. I want all of you to imagine you're standing next to your Ultimaker S5 printer, and you just bought a new spool of filament with exactly the engineering properties you need. You put it on your printer and you start your first print. And you get your first print right, a successful print. For all of you that have tried, you know that this is not always reality. And I have to be honest with you, printing engineering materials with demanding material properties, it is tough. For all those years that Ultimaker exists, we have been striving to make it easy for you. We brought you easy-to-use, affordable printers with an open platform with the Ultimaker Cura software to take away the hassle for you. And we brought you the Ultimaker Marketplace, with all kind of third-party materials with print profiles that allow you to start printing right away. And that has been a resounding success. Today we have 12 Ultimaker materials for you and over 250 materials on the Ultimaker marketplace with print profiles ready to be used. You can find everything over there: flame retardant, ESD safe, thermally conductive, antimicrobial. Whatever you need, you'll find the material there to use. With the most demanding applications, it becomes extra critical. Your hardware must be in top condition. The material must be of top quality, and the print profile must be fully optimized. How do you know that you are set up for a first successful print? Well, we heard you. It is tough, but we are here to help and to make it easy for you. With what we are launching today, we make it possible for you to get that first print successful, even with the most demanding engineering materials. Today, we're launching Ultimaker certified materials. We selected the materials that are best in class for the applications that matter to you. We added an NFC chip to those materials, so you have a seamless workflow. You don't have to select the material on your printer anymore. Also, these materials are globally available via all Ultimaker resellers, so you can buy the materials from the same reseller that you bought your printer from. And every material will come with a QR code on the packaging that will lead you directly to a Getting Started page. And on this page, you find extensive instructions how to calibrate your printer, test models that you can check and validate your setup so that everything is working correctly. And if anything is wrong, we'll help you there with troubleshooting to correct that. So ultimately, you will get your first print successful, and the second, and the third, and every next print. So the first material that we're launching as certified material today is the Lehman Voss 9825 polyamide. This is a high-performance polyamide that was specifically made for manufacturing environments. It's extremely strong and tough with a very high temperature resistance of up to 160 degrees Celsius. Also, it has a very high dimensional accuracy with tolerances less than 0.3 millimeter on 10 centimeter parts. And that's absolutely unprecedented in desktop FFF manufacturing. So this is the perfect material for your manufacturing age, your tools, your jigs, your fixtures, your functional end-use parts that require the temperature resistance and require those tight tolerances. So let's hear what Thomas Oemichen, the managing partner of Lehman Voss, has to say about this development.
The joint certification of materials by Ultimaker and Lehman Voss creates additional opportunities for our customer because it gives them safety, that material and machines and processes are well fitted to each other to reproduce products and parts in a very good manner.
Thank you, Thomas. So what I ask from you is go to your Ultimaker reseller and buy your spool of Lehman Voss 9825 certified material. Scan the QR code, follow the instructions, and get your successful print. And we will not stop here, because we will certify more materials for more applications. For every application that matters to you, we will select the best-in-class material by evaluating all the alternatives and certifying the absolute best material. So you can get a first-time successful print for every engineering application that matters to you. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Bart. It's really exciting to see the first material enter the Ultimaker Certified Materials program, and I'm very excited to see the materials that will follow. So hello everyone, I'm Miguel Calvo, Chief Technology Officer here at Ultimaker.
I joined the business in February and have been inspired by the work happening here in Geldermalsen at our R&D center. So today, I want to take you through some of the great work that has happened since the launch of the S5 in 2018. In 2018, Ultimaker released the S5, our biggest printing platform to date, bringing with it a user-centric design focused around experience, reliability, and repeatability. In 2019, we released the S3, the smaller sibling to the S5 with all the same advantages. And we also brought to market the still unique Material Station, bringing the ability to enhance productivity by automatically switching materials or switching between materials for the next job and keeping the material in an environmentally controlled cabinet so that you are always ready to print when needed. We also brought new materials to market, including tough PLA and PETG, as well as new print cores to enhance your ability to print other third-party materials, including abrasives. But we didn't stop there. We also make under-the-hood enhancements to the printer's onboard software, the so-called firmware, that you may not be aware of. So, as you go through your working life with our Ultimaker printers, please do keep up to date with the firmware. Install the latest releases that come out and interact with your printer, because you'll see what's new. Since the release of the S-Line, we've pushed out many firmware improvements. The first of 2021 in January was release 6.1. This was a really important software release for us as we updated the underlying operating system on the printer and brought with it huge improvements and enhancements in the security on the printer. Our customers and users have asked to be able to put the printer behind a firewall to stop unauthorized users accessing them, and we brought that in this release. Since January, we've had 4 further major releases of firmware and some smaller minor bug fixes in between, each release successively bringing enhancements to usability, workflow improvements, and enhancements in the printer's ability to continue to operate 24/7 reliably and repeatably. Our team of engineers constantly work on the S-Line. We have other programs ongoing, but we focus on the printers that you have in your hands today to ensure that we can continue to enhance their abilities and open up new applications and workflows for you. Firmware release 6.5 brought enhancements to the Material Station. The generic profiles have now been updated to permit a wider range of materials to pass through the Material Station with high reliability and repeatability. We also added extra workflows into the printer to ensure that users can continue to use the machine in the event of the unexpected, guiding through workflows to recover a print if that unexpected error does occur. But it's not just the firmware that we continue to improve. When I last spoke to you, we announced the release of 2 new print cores, the CC 0.4 and 0.6, the next development of our abrasive-capable cores. These 2 new print cores bring the ability to print abrasive materials, carbon, glass-filled, and others, at higher resolutions and greater accuracy, and the feedback from our users is excellent. We've also updated our feeder, giving the ability to use, again, those stiffer and more abrasive materials, as well as be gentler on the softer or the more brittle materials, reducing the number of breakages, improving uptime and productivity. And we don't stop there. I'm really happy today to be able to give you a sneak peek on the further developments our engineering team are working on, which will launch into the market over the next weeks and months. The first very exciting announcement is firmware 7.0. This release brings an enhanced user interface to the S-Line product, giving the user instant information about the status of the machine. We've updated the home screen with the ability to pause and resume prints directly from that top screen. And on the printer settings page, an enhanced color scheme, giving the user immediate knowledge of the status of each material bay. The new UI allows a user to understand the status of their machine from any screen. The updated status bar at the top gives connection status, the firewall status, as well as an indication to the user whether the printer is hot. We're really excited to have users interact with their machines in a new way and give us feedback. We also are working on hardware, continual improvements focusing on the small areas that enhance productivity and repeatability. An example of this is an updated material decoupler. This is a unit at the back of the machine that passes material between the material station and the printer. Our engineers have focused here and bought an enhanced design that improves the material passage through the decoupler and improves reliability to allow you to print 24/7. We're also bringing incremental improvements to our motion system. The enhancements we're making improve the repeatability machine to machine and allow you to print on any device in your fleet with the same consistent and accurate results. And we don't stop there. We will continue to focus on the S-Line, bringing further hardware and software enhancements to continually allow you to expand the applications that you use the machines for. Moving on from the S-Line, our engineers have been working on something new. When we released the Ultimaker 3, we brought predictable, reliable, dual extrusion machine to the market. With that machine, we brought the ability to print with PVA, a dissolvable support structure. When using two materials, the process to go from idea to finished part is more complex. There's an extra stage to remove the support material. Feedback from our users is that the removal of PVA is time-consuming and certainly not hassle-free. You can see here some examples of real end-user setups in order to remove the PVA. Ultimaker have been working hard on a solution to these problems, and today I'm delighted to announce the Ultimaker PVA Removal Station. And here it is, the Ultimaker PVA Removal Station, bringing efficient post-processing with peace of mind. The PVA Removal Station will reduce the time to dissolve PVA by up to 75% and reduce operator interaction with that process by up to 80%. Place the part in the basket, fill the station with water, and walk away. Come back 3 to 4 hours later to have your finished part with all the PVA removed, with none of the mess, the hassle, and the sticky residue. If you'd like to keep posted on the development and the launch date of the PVA Removal Station, click the link in the description below, enter your email address, and we'll keep you updated. Thank you for being with me as I describe the ongoing development work happening here at Ultimaker to expand and grow our 3D printing platform. Let me now hand over to Jürgen to wrap up this exciting event.
Thank you, Miguel. That's really exciting, right? So from my perspective, the PVA Removal Station is a super innovation. It's something that our customers have been asking for and just completes the package. So very exciting. I also want to thank all the other speakers. I actually want to thank all our ecosystem partners as well. The success of Ultimaker has been not just down to us as a company, it's the whole ecosystem. And that's kind of this unique part of Ultimaker. It is leveraging everybody's ideas, taking advantage of all those things, and offering customers solutions and flexibility and sustainable value. I also want to make sure that we understand the potential that we have. And we have so much more to give and get. And this continuous improvement theme is not just a theme or a campaign. It's the way we work. It's the culture of Ultimaker. It's going to be the culture of the ecosystem to continuously improve. And this showcase event will be biannual. And we will make sure you are updated and will continually improve the Ultimaker solution, the Ultimaker ecosystem, and the platform. So thank you for taking the time, and I look forward to meeting many of you in the future.